That's what they do. That is the sign of a good ball team. And by the way, let me bring in my esteemed guest this evening, the great Lorenzo Ice Tea Thomas. Yes. Yeah.
I got my own theme music.
Oh. It sounds eerily familiar.
Right? We all got the same theme music, right?
That sounds eerily familiar to somebody.
He said eerily familiar. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm fast, I'm young, I'm pretty. I got my pink on.
That pink looks good on you, man.
Man. Yeah, it's October.
Yes, definitely.
Let's whoop cancer's ass, ladies and gentlemen. Let's whoop cancer's ass. Let's whoop show off like that to spare Dolphin fans the misery of what we're going to talk about next. And that's football here in South Florida.
Okay, I'm leaving now. I'm sorry.
Wait. Lorenzo. Yo, come back. You got to hear this. There's an article right now, and I couldn't write this article because I'm actually rooting for Brian Flores
and Chris Greer,
the only black head coach and GM in the NFL, and for obvious reasons. But there's an article on Dolphins on the Dolphin website called Fansided.
Familiar with them, yeah.
Miami Dolphins must clean house to be successful. They've got to clean house, and you, Lorenzo, have been one of the main people that's been all over this town railing against the Dolphins for not drafting Diggs. Tay Diggs. What's it? No, not Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs. What's his first name? Trying to make sure my stuff look right. You see, I got my basketball cap on already, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to change my background. It's not working too good, too well. I'll do it during the commercial break.
Yeah, I do believe it's Tavon Diggs, yeah.
Okay. From the Cowboys, right. Yeah. Cowboys selected him in the latter part of the second round, and the Dolphins with Noah Iguodala.
Fans are so angry right now.
Yeah. We have every right to be.
They're so angry right now.
Yeah.
And they're angry at Chris Greer. And they're angry at Brian Flores. Because this team is underperforming. And then, Lorenzo, you saw this coming.
Right.
You wish I'd saved the clip where you went on a pregame show early Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And you predicted, sir, that the Jacksonville Jaguars would beat your Miami Dolphins. What did you see?
Oh, I thought you were about to play the clip.
No. I'm going to. But what did you see?
I've just seen 5 weeks of this team not being cohesive. When you make as many changes as they have made over the past year, and you ship out quite a few veterans, with a lot of us kind of agreed to a certain extent, but when you have instability amongst the team and you have a training camp where a lot of players are not even playing, and you bring in some players and you're not actually in a situation where you have a lot of time to play together, you're going to have some problems once you get on the field. And we can go back to training camp and we look at, let's start with Albert Wilson, who started off camp in shorts looking great, and then we didn't see him anymore. Will Fuller was not on the field a lot during training camp, so he was out a lot. And who else? Devontae Parker was hurt quite a bit of time. So therefore, you don't have...
He's always hurt.
Yeah, he's always hurt. So you didn't have a chance to get any type of chemistry with Tua and those wide receivers. And then Tua gets hurt after the first game, and now you've got your second string backup quarterback trying to get chemistry with some wide receivers that he really didn't have a lot of time to get cohesive and have any type of chemistry with in training camp or even in preseason. Now the season starts and you're expecting them to be on all cylinders. That's not possible. And then when you get rid of a lot of this veteran leadership, the main one I will say is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Because if you have players, young players, older players in that locker room, and a lot of times, you hear the coach talking and it just sounds like wah, 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 because you're hearing the same thing over and over again. The players could go to Ryan Fitzpatrick, or they could go to a Cal Van Noy, or they could go to a Bobby McCain, or they could go to a Shaq Lawson, or an Eric Flowers, especially someone like, oh my God, what's his name? The left tackle of the Dolphins. I can't even think of it right now. Or Austin Jackson, right. Austin Jackson's had a tough time ever since Eric Flowers left. Eric Flowers was a veteran left guard who lined up right next to him. So if he had any questions, he could always ask. And these questions could happen on the field. He could always ask Eric Flowers. He's not there. That veteran leadership that used to be in that locker room is no longer there. And a lot of the players that were expected to take that step forward, those rookies from last year, that offensive lineman, those players are not being coached up and they have not taken that step forward. So when you see that over the last 4 weeks, and then you look at the fact that you don't have Byron Jones, you don't have Xavier Howard, you don't have Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, or Will Fuller going into a game against a winless team, and you have a defense that has the inability to get pressure on the quarterback. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If he can sit back there and be comfortable, and you have your number 3 and your number 4 cornerbacks out there playing, and one of them just happens to be a rookie who has lost his confidence. He's going into his second year, but he's barely played, 6 full games, if that many. And you have him going up against a veteran like Marvin Jones. Whenever they needed to play, they needed a touchdown. It was the Jaguars, but it wasn't really this Miami Dolphins team is more talented than their record. But on the field, you didn't have 5 of their biggest players on the field. So I knew it was going to be a problem going into that game because of all the players they were missing, and they were lacking cohesion. And then you had Tua coming back, basically throwing to the same wide receivers that he was throwing to last year. And we spoke about this on the phone. There's a problem with chemistry with Tua and the wide receivers.
Yep.
But the only person he has chemistry with is the person that he played with in college. Right. Just think about that for a second. He has chemistry established with Jalen Waddle because they played together in college. He doesn't have chemistry with anybody else. Finally, he established something with Mike Gesicki. Good game for him. They had him running, and he threw with anticipation. So but the game was lost in the first half when the Dolphins didn't take advantage of putting more points on the board. They got into the red zone and had to settle for field goals. If they put touchdowns on the board and they go up 21-3, it turns into a different game because now they're forced to throw the ball and the threat of the run is not there anymore. And then in the second half, I think they just started to panic. They didn't want to lose the game. And then they started, Brian Flores was hoping he'd get a break on one of those calls where they would turn it over, the one where Myles Gaston caught the ball. At first, the referee said he caught it, and then they changed. I mean, when do you see that happen?
Couple of calls went against the Dolphins.
You know what I mean? And, of course, you and I talked about it earlier where the punt returner his finger did go backwards. He did touch the ball. It would have been a touchdown. Yeah, you got the proof. But I just don't think that the referees didn't want to come down to making a call that wasn't obvious that would basically decide the game, especially not in London,
Yeah. I'm rooting for Chris Greer and Brian Flores, but I might have to agree with that article on Fansided. As much as I want to root for these guys, they're feeling miserably, but they got off to a good start yesterday.
Waddle, and he's got the touchdown. A great strike by Tagovailoa. It's a 6-yard touchdown throw, and the Dolphins score on their first possession.
Yeah, I like that. Started off good, right?
Right.
I'm trying to keep my clips short because they be hating on the book, But yeah, they got something about the highlights on there. But yeah, there you go.
Okay,
nice opening drive. It looked solid. And Dolphin forms were, the Dolphin fans rather were in midseason form.
Go like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. Now when we say Miami, we're talking Super Falcons. We're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one. We're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one.
Yeah. How about that for Tuesday?
Yeah, that is good. But one thing I will say about the highlights that you have shown, if you look back, if you go back and you look at, this is what I'm talking about, chemistry and cohesion, right? Go back and look at the Dolphins games that they have played. They have had a lead in the first quarter in a lot of the games. They were in front of New England. They were in front of Indianapolis. They were in front of Jacksonville. And that's probably because those plays are scripted. You know, that first drive is scripted. But then after that, they're just not able to execute.
What happened?
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, what happened to all that cohesion?
Yeah.
So it's a problem for them going forward, and the defense